Sometimes you need to try something different. Put away the STOL planes, put away the trainers, put away the EDFs, warbirds, and everything, and do something completely different. These powered gliders are that. And you find there's challenges in just gliding. You know, that they're doing a full pass, busting by, making a circuit, no power, and bringing her in for a landing. That's some cool stuff. This is a neat plane. I'm going to show you all about it. Stick around. Welcome to the field. Here we're going to assemble the FMS ASW-17 2.5 meter glider, powered glider. I've started to think that since I have too many planes, it's easy for these types of planes that have basically a lot of quick connect as far as for the tail section as well as the wings to just keep them in the box, keep them safe. I can stack them easier than trying to find racks for them. Anyway, so here I'm going to go through this quick field assembly just to show you what that looks like, and the fact that these planes don't fit in my shop very well fully assembled. I'm going to go through that whole process, highlight some areas that you need to pay attention to during assembly. I'm going to go over the setup, and then we're going to fly the heck out of this thing. Stick around. The wings have integrated carbon fiber tubes, but they slide onto these heavy steel rods, threaded rods that thread into the fuselage. There's a quick connect for the flaps and ailerons, and there are no screws. It just has basically some clips that need to make sure that they function properly, meaning you shove the wing in and you'll hear some clicks, and there's two little tabs like this, and make sure that those have activated properly. They should be outward when they're fully seated. Make sure those tabs are outside, so you see I'm kind of pushing on them a little. Now for the tail section. So you'll have your horizontal stabilizer, and that slides into the vertical stabilizer and kind of just clicks in place. There's just a little tab that makes it so it doesn't fall off, which the way it's set up, it's not going to fall off. And then you'll have the actual rudder, which clicks into place at the hinges. So a little weird, but it works fine. They come off and on easily. And then after that, you do need to connect the servo arms or the control rods into the control surfaces, and those use those easy connects with grub screws. Take your time on that, but really before you can lock those down, you need to power it up to make sure these servos are centered. Once the grub screws are locked down and everything's centered properly, do a quick control check and make sure everything is working properly. Double check that. Now we're going to go up in the air, but before that, let me talk a little bit or show my setup. Basically use the manual and its high rates for everything. My Expo, the way I like it, CG, more aft, 80. Here are all the setups. I do have an AR-631 with no gyro. You ready? Hand launching this plane is very simple. Give about maybe 2/3 throttle and just a nice level chuck, maybe a little elevated chuck. If you give full throttle, it will torque to the left hard. A lot of times, you're going to ask yourself, why would you want a big old glider like this, or sport glider? They're just fun to fly, just cruise around, get up high, and then chop throttle and glide around. How far can you glide? And just enjoy just some relaxation while you're flying. It wasn't the most aerobatic plane I've flown. It is a slow roll kind of thing, but for me, the purpose of this plane was having fun, cruising around, going up high, chopping the throttle, and just gliding around. How far could I glide? How fast could I? Just stuff like that. It just, to me, it was just fun, something different. the swoosh sound that these gliders make, these big ones that are pushing some air, is kind of fun. I really enjoy that as well, and just kind of keeping it low and just doing some, just gliding. How many circuits can I do without hitting the throttle? It's fun stuff.
Time remaining 7.
Depending how much you're on the throttle, that little battery lasts quite a while. Again, it's all relative, and my timer is set up to stop if I'm under 25%. So you could go for an awful long time on a little 2400. Of course, we have to do those cool touch and goes with gliders, that if you hit it and let it skim a little bit, keep some speed, get up and turn the power back on.
Flaps up.
I will say that the prop on this has hit that runway a number of times when I just kind of messed up on my timing on a few things. You'll see one here when I land, and I'm literally trying to taxi. I don't know what I was thinking. Anyway, stand by for that. This is not lacking power. You have more than enough power. I mean, you're not going to hover it, but you can do big loops if you want. Going to come in for landing.
Landing flaps.
Slow her down with flaps. Like a lot of these gliders, the flaps will help you slow down. Otherwise, man, it's slippery and it just glides forever. I'm giving it some rudder, and I accidentally bumped the throttle a little bit and scraped up the prop even more. Don't hit that throttle. All in all, this is a really fun plane, and it absolutely is good for, I think, anyone who has mastered their trainer. They're looking for something fun, a little less stressful sometimes on landings, because it's pretty darn easy to get these things in the grass or on the runway like I do. Field assembly is quick. Transport in the box, relatively low cost. I'll have a link in the description below for the plane and a discount code that'll give you a couple extra bucks off the price. All in all, again, it's a lot of fun to fly, and it's that, to me, kind of that low stress kind of plane. Anyway, if you have any questions, leave a comment. Appreciate it if you like, subscribe, all the cool stuff. Have a great day.